Welcome to the Arsenal Stage News, and remember, make subscribe. Victor Osimhen was in Lagos, his villa bathed in the amber heat of a Nigerian evening. After a long season with Napoli, his most grueling yet, the striker sat reclined with his phone face down on a table. He had received multiple calls all day from journalists, agents, friends. Everyone wanted answers. Was he leaving Napoli? Would he stay in Serie A? Victor sat up slowly. Arsenal. The name had floated around him for months, years even. He admired their rebuild, their style, the youth, and most of all, Mikel Arteta's audacity. Back at Arsenal's London Colney training ground, Mikel Arteta and sporting director Edu Gaspar were locked in deep discussion. Their objective? Find a striker who would transcend the limitations of Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. They wanted physicality, technique, hunger, and stardust. Roberto Calenda arranged the first meeting with Arsenal at a discreet venue in Paris, Neutral Ground. Osimhen stayed in Lagos, observing quietly. Edu came with Arsenal's chief negotiator, Richard Garlick, bringing a confidential dossier. Inside were Arsenal's long-term plans, their commitment to Project Youth, and an offer, £230,000 per week, 5-year deal, bonuses tied to Champions League success, and goal milestones. Nuno Tavares has moved to Serie A side Lazio on a permanent transfer. The 25-year-old defender joined us from Benfica in July 2021 and made 28 appearances in all competitions. He scored his first competitive goal for us in a 3-1 win against Manchester United in April 2022. Lisbon-born Nuno joined Benfica's academy in 2015, spending 6 years with the club. After graduating to the first team, Nuno made his debut in style, lifting silverware aged 19 as Benfica defeated Sporting Lisbon 5-0 in the Portuguese Super Cup in August 2019. Following his debut season at the club, the attacking full-back spent time on loan with Marseille, Nottingham Forest, and Lazio. He made 39 appearances in all competitions for Marseille during the 2022-23 season, scoring 6 times to help Marseille to a third-place finish in League One. A loan spell with Nottingham Forest came the following season, where Nuno made a combined 12 appearances in the Premier League and FA Cup. Nuno then spent the 2024-25 campaign on loan with Lazio, where he made 30 appearances in all competitions. He assisted 9 times, 8 of which came in the first 10 league games. During his time on loan at Lazio, Nuno was awarded his first senior international cap when he came on as a substitute in Portugal's 5-1 win against Poland.
Another news.
It began with rumours. Small, almost laughable at first. Bernardo Silva to Arsenal? To leave Manchester City where he had won everything there was to win? Surely not. But behind the scenes, something real was brewing. Arsenal weren't just dreaming, they were planning. Quietly, boldly. Mikel Arteta, once Pep Guardiola's protégé and now his most dangerous rival, had never forgotten the quiet genius of Bernardo Silva. He had coached him, trained with him, watched him break lines and create space out of nothing. Arteta didn't just admire Bernardo, he understood him. Bernardo, now 30, had just returned from another long season with City. Though still brilliant, he had begun to feel the routine closing in. Trophies no longer gave him goosebumps. The thrill was fading. When Arteta called, the conversation hit deeper than expected. "You can still be a legend here." Arteta said, "At Arsenal, you won't be part of a system. You'll be the soul of it." It wasn't an easy decision. Manchester City had been home for 7 years. Bernardo had been instrumental in their historic treble, their invincible run, and their rise to European dominance. But something about Arteta's vision, his passion, his clarity, stirred something new inside him. Jorge Mendes, Bernardo's agent, started making calls. Arsenal were ready to spend £65 million, with performance bonuses bringing it closer to £75 million. For a player of Bernardo's age, it was audacious, but Arsenal saw it as an investment in leadership, vision, and artistry. Guardiola, ever the pragmatist, didn't stand in the way. He's earned the right to choose. Pep told the press, if he wants to write a new chapter, he does so with my blessing. On July 14, 2025, Fabrizio Romano dropped the bomb. Here we go. Bernardo Silva to Arsenal, confirmed. The Arsenal fan base exploded. For years, they had waited for a marquee signing, someone who wasn't just talented but proven. Someone who could guide Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Gabriel Martinelli with wisdom and grace. Bernardo was that player. He arrived at Colney in a dark grey suit, understated but elegant, just like his playing style. Cameras followed his every move as he shook hands with staff, walked the training pitch, and posed with his new shirt. Number 20. A number Arsenal fans would soon revere. In his unveiling interview, Bernardo was candid. I came here because I believe in the project, he said. This club has hunger, identity, and youth. I want to help shape the next chapter of Arsenal's story. The media called it a coup. Some called it madness. But the effect was immediate. Training sessions became sharper. Young players watched Bernardo's every move, how he turned with a single touch, how he communicated in whispers and gestures, how he demanded intensity without raising his voice. In Arsenal's first pre-season friendly, he debuted in front of 60,000 fans at the Emirates. He didn't score, but the way he pulled defenders, linked play, and found Odegaard in pockets of space left the crowd in awe.